ọzọ emekwananụ. Nnamdi Kanu, onyeisi ndị otu IPOB, ya bụ Indigenous People of Biafra, ọ gbakwala ndị ọchịchị Naịjirịa na-awa ọzọ nke o kwuru ugbu a na mgbasa ozi pụrụ iche nke o mere n'obodo Israel pụrụ iche nke ukwuu. Ọ gbara ndị ọchịchị Naịjirịa na-anwụ nke ukwuu ihe niile na-ezo ezo ka o kwuru na mgbasa ozi a nke o mere nke a maka na ọ na-azọ ka ndị Igbo were onwe ha, ya bụ ka ndị Igbo weta Biafra. Cheta na Nnamdi Kanu gbara ọsọ ndụ ya wee gbaje obodo Israel, ebe a ka ọ nọzi ugbu a wee gbasa ozi pụrụ iche nke o ji gbaa ndị Naịjirịa na-anwụ, ya bụ ndị ọchịchị Naịjirịa. O kwuru ihe zoro ezo dị iche iche, ọkachasị ka ndị ọchịchị Naịjirịa ji emegide ndị Igbo, nke mere o ji chọọ ka ndị Igbo were onwe ha wee weta obodo Biafra. Ngwa ọkwa ngwugwu a ga-atọ atọ, ọ dịghị mma etu ya mbọ. Ya mere gee ma kirie mgbasa ozi ya pụrụ iche nke Nnamdi Kanu, onyeisi ndị otu IPOB, ya bụ Indigenous People of Biafra, ji gbaa ndị Naịjirịa na-anwụ, ya bụ ndị ọchịchị Naịjirịa. Lekwanụ ma gee ya, leenụ Nnamdi Kanu, geenụ ihe niile o kwuru.
Elohim, we must worship Adonai. We must worship the Almighty, the Creator of the heavens and this very earth. As most of you know, this is how we do it on Radio Biafra. It has been this way for very many years, and it is not going to change, not now, not tomorrow, not ever. For the truth must be told, and that truth must be preached. You must bow down your heads wherever you are, because we do not worship idol. We don't worship anything born of a woman. We do not worship or bow before anything made with a man's hands. We only worship the Most High in truth and in spirit, the one that you cannot see. As our ancestors did, so are we doing today. The one true Creator of everything that is made, and no one made him. He is the one that we are going to honor. And only Chukwokika Biama do we praise and worship. Chukwokika Biama. If you get close, you will know him. That's the meaning of Abiama for those who do not know. The children of the Most High would know this. This is not a place for idol worshippers, because we are handing over our proceedings to the Most High, that his will may be done upon the face of the earth. In thee, O Elohim, do we put our trust. Let us never be put to shame. You will not allow shame to befall your name, because we call upon thee morning, noon, and night with very clean hands and a clear heart and an unblemished conscience. You will deliver us in your own righteousness. You that made it possible for us to be in your holy land of Israel, in the land of the living, that we may propagate your gospel that you have given to us. Listen to our prayers this very evening and our supplication. We are suffering. We are being subjugated. We are being terrorized in our own lands, for we know that we have sinned against thee. Please have mercy, because thou art our fortress. There is no other place to go to. You are our resort continually. You have given us commandments to save us, for you are our rock and our fortress. Come and deliver us, O Elohim, out of the hands of the wicked and the children of perdition, out of the hands of the unrighteous men and cruel people that slaughter, rape, and pillage. Deliver us from the hands of terrorists. Deliver us from the hands of liars and deceivers. For you are our only hope, O Most High. Thou art our trust from our youth. By thee, O Elohim, have we been held up, even right from the womb. For you knew our ways even before we were born. Our praise shall continually be unto your holy name. Sometimes they wonder how we do this. They say, how can IPOB do this? But it is up to thee, O Heavenly Father. You are our strong refuge. You have given us strength. You have filled us with your wisdom. And you have given us hope with the assurance that Biafra will be restored and that IPOB will be remembered for eternity. For we glorify your holy name. We adore thee and seek your blessing and your guidance this evening to take us through these very proceedings that will usher in light where once there was darkness, that hope may come to your children, and that you may set us free from the hands of the wicked and the evil ones, so that ultimately that Biafra may come, and we shall give glory, honor, and adoration unto your holy name, and yours alone and no other, now and forevermore we pray. He said, we must proceed very hastily and without further hesitation to preach this very gospel this evening. If you're not listening to Radio Biafra broadcast tonight, then there is something fundamentally wrong with you. It is either that you abhor the truth, or you are incapable of comprehending what we're about to unleash. Mind you, the DNA test hasn't come. What I mean by that is that those who will explain it to you, they have not come here yet. We know what we are waiting for, because the zoo must fall. And I assure you that they are coming eventually. I am giving them time to remove Jubril from Asarok. I am giving them time to tidy up the mess that they have created. I am giving them time to do that which is righteous, which is to ensure that this very fraudulent, evil, and wicked government is brought to an end, and a new era of Biafra is ushered in via a referendum. If they do not accept this, the zoo will collapse into chaos. I assure you, it will collapse into chaos. That is the inescapable fact of the fallout of an imposition that was never ever sanctioned. You went and you brought in the Sudanese to come and preside over the lives of 180 million people. Because of your lust for money, for power, and because of your greed. Here we shall put it to an end, because tonight's broadcast will be, I would say, one of the most interactive. There will be no phone-ins. There hasn't been any since I've been broadcasting. But tonight you will be interactive by way of research and reasoning. Open your brains. We are going to clean it out this evening, that you may receive truth, that the truth may permeate. Together this evening we are going to embark on a journey of discovery to find out how these Fulani liars, I'm not saying all Fulanis are liars, but there is a significant and a very deadly number of them who are devoted to deceiving all of you. And we shall expose them together tonight. We are going to find out how these liars, these cheats and deceivers, how come they are running the zoo called Nigeria. My only disappointment is that the Yoruba-dominated media will never do a very simple investigative journalism to find out the truth. Instead, they allow their irrational hatred for Biafra. I don't know why Yorubas hate Biafra. I don't know why. Somebody will tell me someday. They hate Biafra with a passion. Yorubas hate IPOB. And with the exception of Fayoshe, Paya de Banjo, and my very good friend, Fani Kayode, a significant number of them, those who doesn't wish to see the light, they also hate me. And all this hatred has clouded their sense of judgment. Now, if those that control the media, in the zoo will not investigate and report the truth, tonight all of us are going to be investigators. Nabalia, go and get your pen and your papers, because it is how we are going to uncover the truth. That is the easiest way to equip yourself against the junk news syndrome in Nigeria and beyond. Nobody can ever cover the truth, no matter how hard you try. Because in the zoo called Nigeria, if you had other people without Biafrans, perhaps you might get away with it. Because we hunt for the truth. Because we believe in Eziokwu. Without truth you cannot live. The ancients made that very clear. In the olden days, when you lie, you die. Because, and as I'm in there also, and in many other places across the ethnicities of Biafra land, for you to be a titled man, you must not tell lies. During your initiation, they bring out your tongue, and they make 7 incisions with the blade. 7 incisions. That any day you lie, you will die. That was where the phrase Eziokwu came from. Because if you speak the truth, you will live. If you lie, you will die. I wish those days were with us now. Because we have so many liars and deceivers. That IPOB were very unique. We dismantle lies piece by piece. The same way we'll unravel the zoo piece by piece tonight. I will disintegrate the zoo with the truth only. Nothing more, nothing less. They cover the truth. We uncover it. I told you last Saturday that the handlers of the imposter Jubril will be afraid to unleash him on the gathering of world leaders in Paris because they know that Jubril is a fraud. They cannot take him to Paris, I told you that. Now, if people in Nigeria are prepared to reason like human beings and not like animals, that's why I call them a zoo, because they cannot reason. Now ask yourself, why will they announce that Buhari, so to speak, is traveling to Paris for this very summit, or for this very gathering of world leaders on this commemoration of Armistice Day? That is what it is. Armistice Day. Sometimes they say, am I speaking too fast? They say I speak too fast. Our mothers in the villages. Because sometimes some of these, our distractors, they mess you around with convoluted grammar in the hope of conveying to you and appealing to your rather very unsophisticated instinct that whoever speaks very beautiful grammar is intelligent. That is rubbish. There are palm wine tappers in the village that makes more sense than your average PhD holder in Nigeria. I can tell you that. And some of you know that is the truth as well. I told you they can never take Jubril to Paris because he's a fake, he's a fraud. He's from Sudan. World leaders were waiting. Did I also not tell you that he might not return on Tuesday? Did he return on Tuesday? The answer is no, he did not come back on Tuesday. These are liars and deceivers. That is how you know. Even when we were very small and very little children, you all know this. If you tell your younger brother or any of your younger siblings to lie, your sister or your brother, you've done something wrong. Maybe your mom said you shouldn't go out or you shouldn't go to the pot of soup and help yourself. And you ignore your mother's instructions and you go and do it. Or you go out. Or you climb the mango tree, or you climb the guava tree, or you do something you're not supposed to do. Or you go out to play with your friends. When you come back, you tell your little sister or your brother, make sure you don't tell mom when mom gets home. And as soon as mom walks through the door, your sibling will say to mom, I'm not going to tell you anything. I don't know if you remember. I'm not going to tell you anything. Brother, okay, I shouldn't tell you anything. But your mother didn't ask your little one any question. It is called guilty conscience. Whenever somebody is hiding something from you, they are lying. Not only are they lying, they are covering up something they don't want you to see or to hear about. That was how Nixon was removed. That was why Clinton was not impeached. Nixon gave an order for the Watergate building to be bombed during the Democratic Party convention. They asked him about it and he denied. The reason why President Nixon was impeached was because he tried to cover up the truth, not because of the actual crime itself. When Clinton was in trouble with Monica Lewinsky, he came clean and said, I did something with the cigarette. They said, okay, you've told us the truth. Had Clinton tried to cover that up, he too would have been impeached from office. Now ask yourself, why would Femi Adesina lie that this man, this Jubril, claiming to be Buhari, is traveling to Paris when that did not happen? Admittedly, he was in Paris, yes, because I know where he went to the evening before. Our men were there. He was at the Museum d'Orsay, where they were having a Picasso exhibition. They won't tell you that, but we know. But he did not attend the actual summit itself. Do you know why he did not attend? Because all the heads of states and all the security agencies in the world, they know he is not Buhari. That is why he did not go. I want every newspaper in Nigeria, I want everybody that gets up every day to attack me for speaking the truth. Go and ask them, why did Jubril or Buhari, whoever you call him, why did he not attend the actual ceremony? We are going to come to the fake pictures later, one after the other. We are tearing them apart this very evening because they are liars. I don't know why Femi Adesina will present himself to be used in such manner. When I told you that day he would not return on Tuesday, some of you thought I was joking. When Tuesday came, he was nowhere to be found. I remember a very hardcore Biafran who rightly observed that, and I quote, because I don't claim what doesn't belong to me. He said, had the zoo not been designed for everlasting hopelessness, on Tuesday morning, that Buhari or Jubril should have returned. On that very morning, over 170 million Nigerians should have staged a very powerful protest demanding to know where he was. Everybody went home. Trump was in the White House. Every head of state had gone. Where was Jubril? I also told you last week that they would go to amend his ear. Didn't I tell you that? Did I not tell you that last week? That he won't come back on Tuesday, I told you. Oh, on Tuesday, he cannot come back. He can't come back on Tuesday. They went to adjust his ear. And on Wednesday, Abba Kyari joined him. He is the main culprit. He is the capon, the big guy that gets everything done. Some say it is a rumor. Some are going about, oh, it is a rumor, it's not true, it's mischief making. But I know it is not, and we are here to prove it. It is the raw truth. Raw, revealing, and very painful truth. Anybody telling you otherwise is deceiving you. I have given you one simple assignment for your brain, not a research you have to do. Why should they lie? That their own Buhari, they call Jubril Buhari, that's why sometimes I say Buhari. They claimed that Buhari was attending this very peace summit. But he did not. And that is the truth. Some of you should begin now to ask yourselves, why is it that he did not go? Therein lies the answer. Why was this Jubril? Why were they avoiding allowing this impostor and the fraud to meet Trump, to meet Putin, to meet Angela Merkel? Did some of you not see George Weah meeting all these people with the Moroccan king? Everybody that was there came out. Not just in photographs, but in videos as well. And I tell you what they are doing. They now that the video of the event is out, what they have done is to commission what I call the high-end digital video editors that work for Hollywood studios to somehow insert Jubril's motion picture in it. They are going to insert Jubril's motion picture in the videos, and they know I will call for video tonight. So tomorrow or next, Family Edition will release a video. Oh, they're asking for video. Can't you say it? But we know if you watch a movie like Avatar, you will understand there's nothing they cannot do. Truth is in real time. Most of us watched Al Jazeera, watched CNN, watched every major news network in the world. There was no Jubril Buhari in Paris. Ask yourself this question. What were they hiding? Why would they lie to Nigerians about this very event when they know within themselves that Jubril wasn't going or would not dare attend? Because Trump would have called him, "You lifeless thing, who brought you here?" That's why they didn't go. Anybody telling you that this is not the truth is deceiving you. I know that politicians in the zoo, both PDP and APC, there is something you need to understand. All of them, they're in this together. All of them. Don't get your PVC and vote. They are all the same criminals, the same gang of chiefs in Yoshika, all of them. I'm not exempting anyone. They're all thieves. Do you know what they're thinking? So if they find out now, if Nnamdi Kanu tells them that this is Jubril and they catch us in this is the proper treasonable felony. In these high crimes and misdemeanors. If they catch us in this, do you know that all this going to CBN to take as much money as possible will stop? They all gang up together. Igbo, Yoruba, Efiki, Bibio, everybody, Kanuri, Hausa, Fulani, to say they are the elite. These illiterates call themselves the elite. Elite in a country where there is no running water, you say you are an elite. You claim you are an intelligentsia in a country where there is no light in the 21st century. You claim you are an elite in a place without any proper functioning education system, unless you go private. And I ask them, what is the essence and meaning of your elitism? It has no meaning. You are as daft as a baboon in Jerusalem Zoo. Useless to the core. You are nothing. Absolutely nothing. These are empty barrels that make the most noise. Do you want to see my degrees, my certificate? But I'm asking you, are you not using a generator in your home? What makes you a civilized person if you cannot avail yourself of the prevailing technology of the time to improve your lives? Something Romans did 3,000 years ago. People in the 21st century, with all their certifications, cannot be able to replicate. Romans did not go to a university. Some of them were just mere soldiers. They were able to build canals, water systems, irrigation systems. They did all of this. They built roads. If you go to England, you will hear, anywhere you hear a Roman road, straight, built in the ancient times, or should I say in antiquity. You have people today in Abuja and in Lagos sitting down in Channels television studios, one of the worst TV stations in the whole world, talking nonsense. We elite, we intellectuals, they are all in this nonsense together. Their job is to make your lives a misery. This is something that you Nigerians must know. They don't want Jubril to be exposed, because if you expose Jubril, their business, which is electioneering, coming up next year, will deny some of them access to the treasury, access to oil and gas money. That's why they're looking for, nothing more, nothing less. So why won't they cover it up? They don't care about the truth. They are not interested in the truth. All they want is to be in office, to keep on looting, and all of you to keep suffering. I call them illiterate kleptomaniacs. They are thieves. They are nothing. When somebody comes, oh, I'm a politician. Do you know who I am? I'm from... Tell the idiot he's a fool. He is nothing. He's just a thief. A very fortunate rogue. Onyoshikobo. All of them. Bar none. They litter the corridors of power in Abuja. And they think that Nigeria is Allah's gift to the Fulani nomads that settled in Nigeria and acquired immeasurable political power through the instrumentality of British colonialism. Britain put them in power. Why? Because before, all they do is to drink the blood of cattle. Milk. And milk. Britain introduced them to the very finer things of life. They don't know how to produce them. They just consume. Britain said, we are pleased with Fulani people. Let us give all the power to them so they can lord it over the others. In the US in those days during slavery, they are the equivalent of house niggers. You know those that say because they are close to the master in the house and the rest of them will be in the sugarcane plantation or in the cotton fields picking cotton or cutting down sugarcane. Those that are in the house serving the master will feel that somehow they've arrived. They're the real deal. I want some of you to go and watch a movie called Django Unchained. I think it's Unchained or is it Unleashed? It's Unchained. Is it Unchained? Django Unchained. Go and watch it and you will weep for the mentality of a black person. Some of you watch movies, you don't do anything with it. I watch movies to learn. That was how I knew that Shawshank Redemption, one of the finest movies of all time, will teach you a lot about hope and perseverance. In fact, I recommend that everybody in IPOB should watch it. Shawshank Redemption. Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman. Watch it. And then find time, this is compulsory, to watch Django Unchained. After watching it, if you see a stupid black man on the road, you'll kill him, I'm telling you the truth. That movie taught me a lot. That is what the Fulanis are counting on. That is what, or of course it is, because it's still very current and present. That is what the British have been counting on for years. To run everybody down. The lies and the deceit of the Fulani cabal. Tonight we unravel it. One after the other. One after the other. They're in Abuja, stealing and looting. They don't want you to find out that Jubril is from Sudan and that he's fake. That Buhari is dead. While some of us were busy lamenting about the cross-Atlantic slave trade, how many people from the north were taken in slave ships to America? Let me ask you. Does any of you here know? Anybody from the north? How many Fulanis were slaves in America? How many? Britain wasn't satisfied with emptying our towns and our villages. When they were done, their hatred for us was so immense that they handed us over to the Fulani people to continue to the subjugation for eternity. They will prefer them to keep lording it over us, to keep running us down. If you're not happy as a graduate, find your way through the Mediterranean to Italy. Go and seek asylum somewhere. But if unfortunately you die of dehydration in the desert, or if perchance you drown in the Mediterranean, that is your fate. That is your luck. And that is your life. Don't we feel ashamed that people are dying on the way to Europe? because of the misrule and mismanagement of the Fulani ruling elite. Are some of you not ashamed of yourselves? So you don't hear about people drowning in the Mediterranean. Of course! They are not your relatives. So it doesn't matter because you have no conscience. I say this all the time. People think it is very controversial. You must bear with me because we are going to reveal this rule this evening and unmask them one after the other. Do you know the reason why Africa is poor? Africa is poor because black people by nature are very wicked. I'm telling you the truth. Because Chukwokika Biama looks into the hearts of men to see if there are some amongst them that because or for their sake he will spare or have mercy upon the larger population. In Africa, the answer is zero. Why do you think we are so wicked? Why do you think somebody will be earning 5 million naira every day, or should I say every hour for some of them? And somebody is asking you for 30,000 naira in a month and you say no. You must be a very heartless, cruel and evil person. Today, they are busy covering up the truth. And the truth is that Jubril is a Sudanese. Fulanis are in power. They can do whatever they like. Nobody can question them. There was one idiot, he says his name is Malam Daura, I'll get to him later, who gave an interview to Sun newspaper and said that people should do away with the Constitution. Some of you may have read the piece, but you don't know the implications. I said this to them before, and at the risk of sounding controversial, the Awasa Fulani people, they are like the countries you have in the Middle East. They don't understand the meaning of democracy or secular governance. They don't understand it. Not now. They can never be democrats. Never, ever, ever. Not now, not tomorrow, not ever. Against this very background, we present to you this very evening a program of truth and liberation. My only regret is that a majority of my Yoruba brothers don't want to be free. They prefer to remain under Fulani bondage as long as they have access to proceeds of crude oil and monthly allocation from Abuja. As long as Lagos remains the only viable seaport, as long as Igbo businesses in Lagos, as long as Biafran workers all over the place continue to pay their taxes and develop Yoruba land while Biafra land remains a wasteland, not worthy of development, things will continue the way they are. You know, sometimes it reminds me of what Malcolm X said. You have to be very careful introducing the truth to a black man who has never previously heard the truth about himself. Because a black brother is so brainwashed that he may reject the truth when he first hears it. You have to drop a little bit on him at a time and wait for a while to let that sink in before advancing to the next stage. And as you know, slaves will always kick against their freedom. They see their chains, some say, some kind of shiny accessory, shiny gold, some kind of something to be very proud of. It gives us a little bit of context this evening as to what we are about to do. I want Nigerians in general to bow their heads anytime they see any IPOB family member, because tonight we are the people saving them from their own ignorance. I am going to encapsulate in a very few sentences what transpired between Jubril Buhari, Femi Adesina, Nigerians, Biafrans, and very keen observers of the dark arts of politics in Africa. I am going to be very concise and methodical in my approach to enable those who may have a bit of comprehension issues to appreciate where we are going and how we are going to get there. In a very short and simple sentence, Jubril is from Sudan, the imposter answering to Buhari. He did not attend the Paris summit. Femi Adesina lied because He, like many of us, know that Buhari, the Buhari they claim they are sending to Paris, is a fake. They know President Trump will not want to see him, because they know that my broadcasts have woken up a lot of people all over the world. Intelligence agencies were waiting, so he could not afford to appear in public with world leaders. Instead, they chose to hide Jubril, because like I told you, in July of 2017, that thing in Asorok is an imposter from Sudan. He is not a Nigerian, he is not from West Africa, he is not Fulani, Hausa or Yoruba Muslim. He is an outsider. He is not even registered to vote. But some of you are planning to go and vote for him next year. His name is not on the INEC register. But you want to go and vote for him next year. That shows how stupid some of you are. Unbelievably stupid. No wonder Black Africa is very poor and backwards. Useless to the core, you cannot reason very well. Why did Femi Adesina lie that Jubril was going to Paris when they know very well that he could not possibly? There is no way he would have shown his face in the public, because Britain is protecting the fraudulent, corrupt zoo called Nigeria. I am in the Holy Land of Israel. I shall convincingly establish beyond a reasonable doubt that the Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari, Jubril I will call him, was nowhere to be found at the just concluded World War Commemoration Summit in Paris. It's called Armistice Day. Armistice Day, not a peace conference. It was the commemoration of Armistice Day. The reason why they said he was going for a peace forum is because they want to divert your mind and your attention away from the festivities at Arc de Triomphe. Because you will go and be looking. If you watch on the television, you will see Armistice Day commemoration. You will not see peace summit. Understand? They called it a peace summit because they know that peace summit will take place inside the building. Had they said commemoration, people will know that when you want to commemorate people, is it not done outside? Outside is commemoration. So they never said Armistice Day, end of World War I commemoration. They said peace forum. Now you understand. That was why Femi Adesina started releasing photoshopped pictures of Jubril when President Macron was outside still speaking at the base of the Arc de Triomphe, an outside open air event. They were busy photoshopping pictures of Buhari's Commonwealth gathering in London in April, as reported by a Hausa website. Understand this very clearly. They used the same dress that Jubril wore in April to Commonwealth Summit in London. They used the pictures to start photoshopping themselves into a gathering they were not a part of. The main event was taking place outside. Did you see how Chukwabema was exposing them? So Femi Adesina thought we are all very stupid. We were watching CNN, watching Al Jazeera, watching everything happen live on the television. And we saw pictures flooding in, saying President Buhari addressing world leaders at the Peace Forum. There was no Jubril on the television. There was no Peace Forum going on inside. Then we knew, as usual, as I told you, that they are lying. And some of you bought it. Because anyway, the education system in the zoo is not working. It has collapsed. So when you're being lied to, there is no way you can know. Only when you come to Radio Biafra, the best university in the world, by none. And by the way, I gave a lecture at Tel Aviv University just a few days ago. And many more will come. Many more will come. There was no Jubril, or the alter ego of Buhari, that very unrepentant criminal. We must remember that this very Jubril had on Friday the 9th followed the deadline very well, or so it is the deadline, on the 9th. 9th of November 2018, they said he was getting out of the country. Femi Adesina announced it, that your president, Kendisu, is jetting out of the country to travel to Paris for a summit. Is that what he said? I think that's what Adesina said. There's nothing wrong with that. Some of you will say, I said, okay, no problem. But I knew, and I told you last week, he will not attend because the world is waiting to expose him. And let me tell you why the world hasn't risen up. Do you know why? They say if you expose Jubril, if we come now and say to Nigerians that this man is an impostor, there will be civil unrest and uprising. And there'll be too much chaos and people will die. And that they don't have the soldiers to bring down to the zoo as peacekeepers. That is what's stopping them. That was why Trump said, I don't want to see him again. All you people in Africa, behaving and thinking like animals, go and deal with your problem because you're all fools. If you cannot see that this man is lifeless, I can, and I will say it. Now, are you following me? Is this sinking in? My goodness me. We must recall and not fail to understand that on Friday the 9th, Femi Adesina told us that he was traveling to France to attend the Global Summit, which had in attendance over 60 world leaders. My goodness me. Nigerians were watching as they claimed this fake Sudanese man was boarding the aircraft. They said he was on his way to Paris. He waved at some of you. But surprise, surprise, nobody saw him land in Paris. Did anybody see him land? And now you'll be asking me, has it ever happened before? Have they shown him before landing anywhere? Oh, for goodness sake. He attended the United Nations, the real Buhari, before he died. Visited United Nations. He attended the General Assembly in 2016. And he landed. People were asking him, but where is Aisha? Because of course we know that Aisha was caught up in a bribery scandal with Halliburton. Some of you do not know, but we know. Aisha Buhari was caught up in a scandal, Halliburton bribery scandal. If she were to go to the United States of America, she will be arrested. Everybody knows that. They paid the Sahara reporters. Sharia reporters, I call them. If you can remember, some of you can remember 2016. With fake pictures of Aisha Buhari landing somewhere in Djibouti. Or is it in Mogadishu? They claim it's the USA. I tell them, rubbish. I've been to New York many times. This is not JFK in New York. She didn't go there. Even those that claim they want to run for the presidency, you know, Sahara Reporters owner, sure, whatever they call him, that liar and cheat. He was the one publishing fake photos of Aisha Buhari, claiming it is New York, when it is not, because Aisha Buhari, till this very evening in the zoo called Nigeria, she cannot travel to the US. She'll be arrested. She was involved in a fraud, Halliburton bribery scandal. Some of you should do some research, please. Maybe we should be charging them money to be listening to this lecture. My goodness me. We must proceed. So Buhari in the past had a televised landing. There was another televised landing in Germany. If some of you can recall, all this is on YouTube. The real Buhari went to Germany. Reminds me of a story that my friend told me, that the father of his friend traveled to Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam, and upon arriving and disembarking from the aircraft, the old man went into the terminal building and saw white people. And he said, in the Muziekenemunu, he thought he was looking at angels from heaven. The same thing happened to Buhari, the real Buhari before he died. Ask Angela Merkel, the German chancellor. Go and check it up in YouTube. Buhari left the aircraft, saw a very finely arrayed military parade, a reception for him. Even in German soldiers, well drilled and disciplined. If you see them, you become frightened. I don't blame him. And he didn't want to come down, and Jamaica asked him to come down. There is no problem, that he's safe. He thought it was an military coup in Germany. They told him there's no coup here in Germany. This is just an ordinary red carpet reception for you. Because we have interest in the zoo. So we have to, diplomatic niceties dictates that we must be very friendly and extend to you the very finest courtesy that the Germans could afford. He came down from the aircraft and inspected the guard, but he could not hold it. As he got to the end, he turned around and he bowed in front of the soldiers. Oh, we see the soldier. So Buhari have had many televised landings abroad, but there was none in Paris because it is not Buhari. The real Buhari is dead. He bowed to the soldiers in total Al-Majri submission, as they do it in the north. This time around in Paris, there was no footage to show. The global event was televised live and released by various international media platforms. Everybody saw it. But none of the videos from Al Jazeera to CNN to everybody, not even their useless NTA, was able to capture or to show Jubril speaking at the summit. All we saw were doctored pictures being churned out by Femi Adesina, the assistant media and publicity aide to the president. I don't know where Femi Adesina did his NYSC. Maybe at Oluwole, International School of Forgery and Fraud. You know, Oluwole is in Lagos, near Tinubu Square, where they forge, maybe that where they did Buhari certificate as well, who knows. Femi Adesina has become an accessory to forgery and to fraud. And they say he's a pastor in a church. He's a pastor in a church. And some of you go to that church because you're ignorant and because you're foolish. If you're sensible, any church attended by Yosibajo and Femi Adesina, no right-thinking person should go there to worship. Because they're evil. I'm telling you the truth. Not that they're not good people. I'm sure Yemi Yosibajo is a nice man. But he's a liar. For covering a lie and a fraud, he's a liar. And now they're chasing him for fraud. He's a pastor. And they're chasing him for fraud. Can you believe that? Femi Adesina is at the heart of this forgery. I'm sure he's reporting to Abba Kyari. They said that Buhari was identifiably present at the summit and even went ahead to release outdated fake pictures. Now tell me, why will they release fake pictures if Buhari was there as they claimed? Why no video? Only fake pictures. Only fake pictures. The man all of you ignorantly call Buhari, which I told you as far back as July. I told you in July of 2017 that Buhari was dead. That the man you're looking at is Jubril. And that he could not participate in the event primarily due to his refusal to adopt the dress code rather. You know, everyone was on suit now. Perhaps with the exception, the Moroccan king had a trench coat over whatever he was wearing underneath. We obtained information that several world intelligence agencies, including the US, were preparing to make sure that Jubril was disgraced. That the impostor was disgraced. It was really the plan of Aminu Jubril al-Sudani and the cabal to have him attend the summit, which crashed in their faces as he could not summon enough courage. He got to Paris, he started shaking. He told me, I cannot do this. They asked him to go, he said he cannot go anywhere. He ran away. He didn't attend anything. Even Vanguard, I respect, Vanguard newspaper. As As I'm saying this, please, IPOB be releasing all the pictures. The one where a whole Vanguard newspaper published a fake picture saying it is Buhari going to address people, only showing his back. Unbelievable. Sometimes you love them, sometimes you hate them. But journalists should do the right thing. It was your fellow journalist that set a world record. It was Woodward of Washington Post that made sure that Nixon was impeached, and rightfully so, for lying to the American people. Why can't journalists forget 5,000 in a brown envelope and write the truth and have their name written in gold forever and ever? As Dele Giwa did. As Dele Giwa did. They had him attend the summit, but he chickened out. He could not do it. He was frightened. He was scared. He ran away. They took him in front of other people. They said they were French. They said Nigerian, French, whatever. They're having a meeting, a town hall meeting, that nobody was allowed to bring in his or her phone into. They said Jubril went to an attentive conference. In that very conference, nobody was allowed to photograph him. Nobody was allowed to ask him any questions. Some of the people that attended said, no, this man we are looking at is not Buhari. They felt disappointed and they left. And you know the worst part of it all? The man they claim is Buhari, which is actually Jubril, could not recognize those that came with him. Even his own minister for diaspora affairs, he couldn't recognize her. That's how terrible things are in the zoo. Before the commencement of this bizarre event, those people that came, they were searched thoroughly. So the question that we're asking this very evening is this: who is presiding over the leadership of Nigeria in Aso Rock? Why can't, I just want to know, why can't Nigerians demand to know where Jubril attended his own summit? Where is the video of the summit he went to? It's a world summit with world leaders in attendance. There is video everywhere. I want somebody to go and bring one single video and show us where Jubril was in Paris, or Buhari, if you choose to call him that. Because Buhari is dead. The person they brought to replace him was scared and frightened. He couldn't go out to meet world leaders. That is why there are no pictures of Buhari shaking the hands of any of the world leaders. We saw the one for George Weah. We saw it. We saw, is it Kagame? What's it called? Was it Paul Kagame of Rwanda? We saw other people where they met world leaders. Please, Jubril, Femi Adesina, Abel Kiyari, Awasa Fulani Kabal, show us the one single picture of Buhari you claim went to Paris, shaking the hand of one other world leader. Please show us. There's none. Maybe they're forging it tonight. Tomorrow, Femi Adesina will tweet it and pay some journalists to be writing junk. And they will accept money and be writing rubbish. But their reward is in hell, I assure them. Why is it that Nigerians tonight cannot demand the immediate arrest and questioning of Femi Adesina for engineering the fraud and deceit through social media? But again, what do we expect from a very hopeless, damnable zoological republic called Nigeria, where even their youth, so-called youths, are more brain dead than the late Buhari himself? Brain dead! There is nothing in their brain. I have a second assignment before I proceed. Do you know what the assignment is? I want people, as I am giving this assignment also to Awasa Fulani people, Awasa Fulani Cabal, I am giving them a very simple assignment. It's so easy, it's so clear. I want anybody, including Nigerian journalists, please, go and get a video of the old Buhari, the dead one, with Bukola Saraki in 2015 and in 2016. Very simple assignment. Picture, videos, just name it. And then you go and get a picture of Bukola Saraki with Jubril in 2017, late 2017 and 2018. You will see very clearly that whereas the old Buhari that is dead is almost the same height with Saraki, or is slightly taller than Saraki, all of a sudden Saraki is now a giant in front of Jubril. It's a very simple. Are people that stupid? I will get to what that Malam Daura said later. He said as you get older, certain features will change. They think I'm a fool. I'm coming to him later. Is this difficult to do? Is it difficult to find a picture in 2015, 2016? Is it hard? Is it hard to do? These are simple things anybody can do. Go and get the picture of Bukola Saraki, the Senate President, with Buhari. Both of them were in APC campaigning through late 2014 and early 2015. Up until 2016. They took many pictures together. Please, as I'm saying this, I want the very exceptionally formidable IPOB admin, the best journalist in the world, to begin to circulate those pictures that those who are even blind can see. Because it has gone to that point that the blind must see. Go and show your grandma in the village, show your grandpa, show your uncle, show your aunt a picture of the real Buhari with Bukola Saraki in 2015, 2016. Look at Saraki now in late 2018 with Jubril. Then you will understand what we're talking about. These are the very subtle mind games that the fraudulent APC government and their friends in the media are playing on us. They claim that it is a PDP plot to discredit Buhari. It is one idiot that went and swallowed dictionary was writing rubbish. He says his name is Dr. Sujo, whatever the idiot is. It is a fake news.
Conspiracy theory.
Oh my God. Conspiracy theory. Oh my goodness. Has no conspiracy theory, Beacon. Conspiracy theory. In the grass school. And in his house now, maybe the gen has gone off because there's no petrol. Conspiracy theory indeed. It is the very simple truth. Anybody thinking that the unmasking of Jubril is a conspiracy theory is a complete idiot and a fool. I was the very first person to raise the alarm about Jubril because I knew that Buhari was dead. I knew the day he was flown to Saudi Arabia. I asked those in government, you see, Nigeria, they said they have journalists, isn't it? In Nigeria. Can any journalist in Nigeria please ask Asorok to give you the presidential log? You know that presidential jet that Buhari took to London for treatment. You know when all of you were complaining, how can we be paying thousands of pounds on parking fees? Remember that? Good. Now go back and ask them, when did that plane depart Luton Airport? And where did it go to? Very simple, isn't it? That is what I expect Punch newspaper to do. That is what I expect these days. Sun newspaper, Vanguard, send the people who can actually investigate. But they will go there, they'll give them brown envelope, and they'll come back and write rubbish. Because a black man doesn't have conscience. Do you know the reason why? Maybe, I don't know, I know that you were in Germany a while back and still there. Do you know why? I don't know other people who have experienced it. Do you know that white people see blacks as liars?
Yeah, of course.
Do you know that? Ask anybody who lives abroad, they will tell you. You've not had any contact with this person. They see you, they say, you are a liar. Why? It's because of what our journalists are doing.